Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about Ritchie Valens and we're going to be talking about Mario Lopez. As you see from these side by sides, they look exactly alike. Alright, you see with their dimples, you can see with their eyes, even their hair in these two pictures, they look exactly alike. And I'll show you guys more side by sides towards the end of this video, so make sure you guys watch this video all the way through. We're finna get into a lot of gematria and scripting behind Ritchie Valens' death, okay? So Ritchie Valens, he's a Death Faker character, obviously, and he's known for a lot of his songs, and he's really known for the movie that they made about him, okay? So a connection already is that he was born in California, and Mario Lopez was also born in California. So the first episode was August 20th, 1989. And so keep that in mind because I'm going to show you guys some crazy gematria with that. And then right here, I highlighted that Valens was killed in a plane crash 8 months into his career. So keep that also in mind because that connects too. And he died February the 3rd, 1959. All right, so February 3rd, 1959, as you see right here on the left, and 8/20/1989, which is the day that the show aired, is exactly 30 years, 6 months, and 17 days apart, okay? If you add that up, you get 53. 5 plus 3 is 8. He died 8 months into his career. So the numerology between his death date and the date the show aired for his new character, the numerology between his eight, what's the chances that he died 8 months into his career? Okay, there's gonna be a lot of scripting like this. I'm gonna show you guys so much scripting, okay? Like it says right here, he was killed in a plane crash 8 months into his career. 8 months equals 138. 138 is aligned with murder. And then Ritchie's death date and Mario's birthday is exactly 8 months apart. So that's another 8 connection. And we're talking about all these 8s. And I thought it was strange because I started to think about the 8 immortals. They love to use the number 8 to pay homage towards that. 8 is like the infinity sign. They are all about immortality. Therefore, they use 8 a lot. Right here it says that he was inducted into Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2001. And then they also added that he died. They keep reminding people. Anything that you look up about this character, they're going to remind you that he died at 17 and the date that he died. And then it says that passed away on February 3rd, 1959. And he was 17 years old. And that is exactly 42 years apart. They waited 42 years to induct him into Rock and Roll of Fame, okay? And that's a long time. Like, that 42 years is a long time for them to wait to do that, but they did that on purpose because Pass Away and Clear Lake, Iowa, they both share 24 and 42 in a full reduction cipher. He died in Clear Lake, Iowa, and then he passed away, supposedly, which equals 24, so that's a huge connection right there. And then he died in the month February, which equals 42. They waited 42 years to induct him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then kill equals 17. He was 17 years old when he died. And then 17 and killed both share 109 and 37 in a full and reverse full reduction cipher, and in the English and reverse ordinal. And then execution and 17 equal out with 44 together. And then right here, this is a picture of Ritchie, and honestly, be honest with yourself, this don't look like no goddamn 17-year-old. I don't care if someone tries to say, oh, well, people look older back then. No one looked this damn old at 17. He looks old, bottom line. He looks very old. He doesn't look 17. He has no youthful look to him. He just looks very old, okay? So the highlighted words right here is Richard Stephen Valenzuela and plane crash, okay, because I'm gonna show you guys the gematria with the name and plane crash. So Stephen and Dead both share 22. Homicide and Stephen Valenzuela both share 48 and 84. And then Valenzuela, his last name, equals 38 in a full reduction cipher. And then murder and Valenzuela both share 38, as you guys can see. And then plane crash and his first name, which is Richard, both share 43. They're trying to frame it as some eerie coincidence, but I don't believe in coincidences. So I'm going to read this to you guys, and this obviously sounds like a mockery. It sounds like a fear story. It sounds like they're trying to push fear on people and get sympathy from them. They're also trying to dumb people down with this coincidence thing. So right here it says, was Ritchie Valens really afraid to fly? So it says, eerily, singer Ritchie Valens, who perished in this accident, had an intense fear of flying and suffered from reoccurring nightmares about dying in a plane crash. Like, what is the chances of that? Someone, he's someone who was scared of it, and then he flies, and then he just so happens to die. You know, what is the chances of that, right? So right here it says that his phobia developed after two airplanes collided mid-air over his junior high school, okay? And that's what made his fear and phobia of it. But what is the chance of that also? That two planes collided over his junior high school. Like, what's the chances of that? Really, like, what's the chances of that? So right here, now we're finna get into the gematria behind his place of burial, which is San Fernando. So San Fernando and homicide both share 48. San Fernando and pass away both share 111 and 48. And I'm showing you guys all these gematria connections to show you guys how scripted they are and how fake it is. Because something real isn't that fucking scripted, bottom line. That's bottom line. Like, if you try to script in some of your events or whatever you do in your day-to-day life, it would not script up this perfectly or have all these connections right off the jump. They have too many connections, and there's an endless amount of connections. This is just stuff that I found, but I found myself finding so much that it was just like, it's too much to keep going. It's too much. You could be there for fucking a whole month straight, still finding connections with all of these characters and the events that they partake in or script out. You know, there's so much gematria, there's so many connections, there's so many numbers, there's so many coincidences supposedly, and it just shows that it's fake. Bottom line, nothing real is that freaking scripted. Bottom line. So the next words we're finna get into is his stage last name. So his stage last name was Valens. He took off the Suela, and so he just called himself Valens. And then also it says that he's a rock and roll pioneer and a forefather of Chicano rock movement. So Chicano and Killed both share 53, and it shares 37. And that just shows that these little words they want to label him as, or any of them. And they want us to label ourselves as all these words that they label themselves as. And you don't have to label yourself with all this stuff, you know? And they always are labeling themselves. They always label themselves. If you go to any celebrity Instagram, some of them call themselves so many different names or things, you know? So right here, Valens equals 73 in the English ordinal. And that's crazy because Mario Lopez, he was born 1973. So what's the chances that Ritchie, his stage last name Valens, equals 73, and then his other character is born in 1973. So 5/13/1941 is when Ritchie was born, and then 10/10/1973 when Mario Lopez was born. It's exactly 32 years, 4 months, and 27 days apart, which equals out to 63, and 6 plus 3 is 9. So a connection with that is Ritchie Valens' mom. She died at 72, which equals 9. That's crazy that the numerology between her death and their distance and their age and the year that they were born and the month that they were born is 9. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, he died February 3rd, 1959, Clear Lake, Iowa. February 3rd falls into Aquarius season, and his birthday falls into Taurus season, okay? So the distance between Taurus season and Aquarius season is exactly 3 months. He died February the 3rd. That's crazy. As you guys can see. So what is the chances that the distance between the two zodiacs, the one he died in and the one he's born in, is 3 months, and he died on the third day of February, so it's so scripted. And then right here, killing and February 3rd, the date that he died, both share 74. And then he died in Clear Lake, Iowa, and Clear equals 33. Lakes equal 48 and 33. Masonry equals 33 and 48. So that's a huge connection between the place that he died. And of course, he died in Clear Lake. Okay, and lakes are associated with Aquarius because Aquarius is connected to water. Okay, so that's ironic that he dies in Clear Lake, Iowa, February the 3rd. February is Aquarius season. So Iowa equals 48 and 24. Okay, and another ironic connection, there was 3 celebrities that died. Okay, and if you type in February 3rd, 1959 on Google, this pops up. It's called The Day the Music Died, and it's a plane crash. And something I found weird is that it has a start day, not an end day. And then another thing is the flight origin is in Mason City, okay? And like I just showed you, the 33s, Masonry equals 33. And also, this event or this plane crash, whatever you want to call it, the day the music died equals 183, which is associated with murder, and equals 84, which is associated with homicide and Masonry. And then also the 33 in a reverse ordinal cipher, which is associated with Masonry again. So right here, death and the day the music died both equal 38 and 83. So he died 8 months within his career. The event is called The Day the Music Died. They both share 183 and 138 in the English ordinal. And then homicide and The Day the Music Died both share 48 in the exact same cipher. And then right here was one of the little flyer things made surrounding their death. And so right here, 3 people died: Buddy Holliday, Ritchie Valens, and J.P. Richardson. And what is the chances this guy, J.P. Richardson, he has Richardson as his last name, and Richard is Ritchie's first name. What is the chances of that? And then right here, this was one of the newspaper, like the face of the newspaper that was out during that time. And that's crazy. And it's so scripted. And to know that, like, during this time, people were picking this article up and they didn't think anything of it. And right here it says Mason City, Iowa. That's just pure mockery in plain sight. And another thing is the person that they had play him in the movie looks absolutely nothing like Ritchie at all. It's like I always tell you, they always get the most random person to play them in a movie, and that person looks nothing like them. I've always thought when I seen this movie as a kid, La Bamba, I always thought that Mario Lopez should have played Ritchie. And what is the chances that I actually looked into Mario Lopez and Ritchie Valens and they looked exactly alike? They're the exact same. That's why I thought that. And this guy looks nothing like him. And as you can see, that's the guy that played him, and that's Ritchie. They look nothing alike. And the film is called La Bamba, and La Bamba and Dead share 14 and 49 and 94 in the same ciphers. And then right here is pictures of Ritchie, and this does not look like a 17-year-old at all. It just doesn't look like a 17-year-old at all. He looks very old, very mature for his age. And here's a side-by-side of him and Mario. And I don't know what age Mario was, but Mario looked way youthful than this guy did, okay? And it seems like they didn't really care about Ritchie's appearance. He was just more so made to script out his death. His death is the main focus on him, not his appearance or none of that. His death and his music. So they didn't really put any work into making that character at all. But they look exactly alike. And as Mario ages, I see it so much because he's getting kind of like because they're making him kind of bigger, like kind of fat. And I see it so much. So yeah, guys, Mario Lopez and Ritchie Valens, they are the exact same. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate all of you.